Welcome to the Public Safety Year in Review. We started this event 5 years ago to recognize and acknowledge the accomplishments from the previous year. This also gives us a chance to explain who we are, what we're about, and why we do what we do. So sit back and let's review the year. Our professional, progressive, and innovative, and doing the right thing mantras remain our steady, guiding principles. Our areas of focus are pillars that prioritize future projects and initiatives. Because we never rest on our laurels, we'll reprioritize our efforts to be timely and to meet the expectations of the UCF community in a time where flexibility and adaptation is critical. On a more somber note, there were 228 line-of-duty deaths across the country in 2022. These officers made the ultimate sacrifice while serving their communities, so let's honor them with a moment of silence. Knowing how challenging a career in public safety can be, I'd like to take a minute to recognize all of the new employees, both sworn and civilian, who joined UCF Public Safety in 2022. Welcome aboard. Let's take a quick look back at highlights from 2022.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. These are the 12 months of the year.
Hello, I'm Commander James Mangan, and I'm the main campus patrol commander for the University of Central Florida Police Department. I supervise the women and men who respond daily to the calls for service for our Knights. When I think of 2022, I think of the many events we had on campus, including sporting events, political speakers, and even Garth Brooks, who visited while in Orlando. Despite demands and staffing challenges, our response time and quality of service provided haven't diminished, with calls for service up 8% over the last year. I am so proud of the officers, detectives, and dispatchers involved in the thousands of calls and cases we handled last year, including those who take on additional roles as field training officers or in specialty areas or teams. Other notable stats include 65 arrests for DUI, 9 arrests for weapons violations, and 205 citations for speeding. In addition to our normal traffic enforcement, UCF PD participates in county-wide DUI patrols and on-campus pedestrian safety campaigns. In addition to the work we do keeping our Knights safe on campus and fighting crime, the Patrol Division gets the opportunity to interact quite a bit with our community. One annual highlight for most of our officers is working Spirit Splash.
When I say go, y'all say night. Go! 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 When I say charge, y'all say on. Charge! Charge! All right, baby.
Because of the nature of the campuses they serve, our regional patrols have perfected the art of balancing patrol duties with extensive community partnership efforts. Commander Pablo Vargas took over the Regional Patrol Division in 2022 and has done a great job leading with a community policing philosophy. Increased participation in campus events, including panels, social events, and activities with the local schools.
Hello, Knights. I'm Robin Griffin Kitzrow, and I'm your Deputy Chief of Police here at the University of Central Florida Police Department. We're going to talk about mental health and mental wellness and all of the efforts that we're making here at the University of Central Florida Police Department to ensure that your Knights stay safe. Mental health and wellness is very, very important to us here, and we are so proud of all of the efforts that we make and all of the investment that our officers put in to make sure that we are trained and well-versed and able to respond to people who in crisis. Let's take a look. Last year, our arrests spiked just a bit, up to 289, with 30 of those arrests generated by an investigation. Many of these arrests are sensitive, complicated, and time-consuming, and our officers and detectives do excellent work in trying to resolve crimes and make our victims whole. One shining example of that is the efforts that we took to recover a rash of stolen catalytic converters taken from students' vehicles. Detectives took extensive efforts to investigate the cases and recover the property for the victims, and then we provided our community with a way to protect their property. Let's take a look.
Welcome back at 7:44. Catalytic converter thefts continue to be an issue nationwide. It's a crime that can bring thieves a quick payday and cost you big time. The parts are filled with precious metals that scrub pollutants out of your car's exhaust. But new this morning, the UCF Police Department is hopeful a unique technology will help recover the converter if it is stolen. UCF was hit hard by catalytic converter thieves earlier this year. Watch as two men walk away with the critical car part in broad daylight. UCF Police Detective Anthony DeLuca worked relentlessly to track down the criminals. And once he did, he found 25 catalytic converters. No tag, no ID, nothing to help him match the parts to the cars. How much easier would this have made that process?
Infinitely. I would have just been able to put a light on it and I would have known instantly who it belonged to.
He's talking about an initiative underway at UCF with Protect DNA, and it's all in this little pouch with an impressive adhesive inside.
We have our catalytic converter right here, and then you just put your gel on it. Thousands of little microdots that are going to be in this little pack right here.
Etched into each dot is a unique pin. Think of it as DNA for your property.
It's a way to apply like a serial number to items that don't have it.
You make an account with the company that links you to the product, making it easier for officers to return the property if it's recovered after a theft.
If this car gets its catalytic converter stolen and they try and sell it to a scrapyard or something like that, we can go into the scrapyard and we can run just within a couple of seconds, we can run the UV light over the catalytic converters and see if any of the catalytic converters have this adhesive applied to them. We can run that serial number and we'll know exactly who the owner of that catalytic converter is.
Tomorrow, UCF Police, Protec, and State Farm will work together to give 100 kits out for students for free. Everyone else can get a kit for $15.
Here at UCF PD, we have a very robust threat management team, and they play an important role in protecting our community. This year, the team welcomed the talents of Delaney Kerwin, who's a licensed clinical social worker, and Allura Bennett. They're both doing the important work of having conversations and digging deeper into people who pose concerns to themselves and to the safety of others. With that, we saw an increase in the number of Baker Acts in our community last year. We are fortunate that our students have access to UCF's continuum of care to support them in staying on track and meeting their goals. Our efforts in our critical incident stress management team have been significant this year. CISM is a peer-to-peer helping process that focuses on post-crisis follow-up with members of our agency. This year, our CISM team participated in 3 critical incident debriefings and have partnered with UCF Restores to offer support to our agency members. At UCF PD, our Professional Standards Division is dedicated to exceptional training provided to all our officers, including the 10 new officers we onboarded in 2022. I can't say enough good things about the quality and frequency of critical training provided at our agency, and I thank our training unit and all of our training officers. Led by Cynthia Pugsley, UCF PD was reaccredited by the Commission for Florida Law Enforcement Accreditation. This is a tremendous undertaking that validates that our practices and policies are of the highest standard, and we thank Cynthia for her efforts to guide us through this process. Soon, we will be seeking accreditation by the International Association of Campus Law Enforcement Administrators, and we are hoping to receive that designation by 2024.
My name is Christopher Gavette. I'm a commander with the University of Central Florida Police Department. My current assignment oversees our Professional Standards Division, and that's basically in charge of our internal affairs section, our accreditation staff, and probably most important, our training and development section. In 2022 for me was a great year of individual and organizational transformation, and I really look forward to working with the men and women of this agency in 2023 and continuing that positive and forward momentum.
As someone who has previously served and led the Community Partnership Unit, I know how this team is at the front line of safety education and community partnerships. The list of achievements for this unit is long, so I'm going to share a few things that this unit has accomplished in 2022. In August, the Community Partnership team welcomed Sergeant Matthew Scott to the unit. And under Sergeant Scott's leadership, the team has worked hard to revamp the Mighty Knights self-defense class and has now made it more accessible, resulting in an increase in attendance. The Community Partnership Unit also partnered with the Creative School for Trunk or Treat and hosted hundreds of outreach events such as Coffee with a Cop, Mighty Knights Self-Defense, and attempted tabling events for other departments throughout the year. The Community Partnership Unit coordinated blood drives with One Blood for public safety and community members. Those efforts resulted in 52 donations in 2022. That has the potential of saving over 156 lives. UCFPD's commitment to the community just doesn't stop there. In 2022, fundraising efforts raised more than $2,000 for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, more than $4,000 for Special Olympics, and another $12,000 for the Police Unity Tour. Now I'm going to throw it back to a donut delivery video highlighting the Community Partnership Team's new contribution to raising money for Special Olympics.
Greetings, I'm Sergeant Crane of the UCF Police Department. I am the Downtown Night Supervisor for Delta Rotation. When I think of 2022, I think of it as being a very remarkable year for our agency. For myself, I was selected as a new ERT Sergeant, and that is a brand new position for me. So I'm looking forward to continuing to learn and grow in my new role, and would like to continue to form those close-knit relationships with everyone a part of that unit. In 2022, UCF saw a significant uptick in events from the previous year, which included everything from athletic events, concerts, comedy shows, and graduations. Collectively, our police officers worked over 9,000 hours during these events. Our special events team works extremely hard behind the scenes to ensure the logistics, security, and overall safety of attendees meet the high standard that we require for every event. Most notably, our football games, which are by far some of our largest events of the year, require dozens of civilian staff, such as security, IT, and dispatchers. We also receive help from numerous local law enforcement agencies and specialty units such as traffic units, K-9, SWAT, and other essential personnel. These events require significant planning well in advance, and last year we hosted 7 home games at the FPC Mortgage Stadium. Together, personnel worked over 115,000 hours during last year's football season. Here's a look at game day from our perspective. While all of our agency employees are deserving of praise, we owe special thanks and recognition to our dispatchers. Our dispatchers are the lifeline for the UCF community, as well as the police officers they help keep safe. Our dispatchers worked extremely hard in 2022, fielding thousands of calls and dealing with staffing shortages, all while maintaining the highest standard of care and ensuring the comm center was staffed 24/7.
2022 proved to be another amazing year for the UCF PD family. I'm so very proud and honored to work with each and every one of you, and I can't thank you enough for all your contributions, your professionalism, and your flexibility that everyone showed in 2022. I look forward to all the amazing things we're going to accomplish in 2023 and watching this UCF PD family continue to grow. If dispatchers are our unsung heroes, our civilian staff are public safety's backbone. Our records and evidence team have been incredibly busy responding to public records requests. lost and found items, and other assignments for records retention. 2022 was a very busy hiring year with 43 positions posted. HR was one of the many areas of public safety impacted by the university's transition to Workday, and I want to shout out Kelly DeArmas and Elizabeth Rodriguez for their hard work and dedication throughout this time. With all these new positions, Dwight King was busy with background checks and with keeping our building in A+ shape.
Greetings, my name is Stephen Freund, and I am the Director of UCF's Department of Security. 2022 was a great year, and I'm thankful for the partnerships we formed across public safety to help improve safety and security across UCF. Debbie Pope has done an excellent job in keeping UCF compliant with the Clery Act and expanding our campus's knowledge and collaboration around campus safety and security. Sergeant Paul White has kept procurement on track, making sure that officers have the uniforms and equipment they need to do their jobs. These units keep our public safety functioning every day. We don't have to second guess if computers or radios will work because our IT and support services staff are dedicated to regular maintenance, and if something goes wrong, 24/7 support. Here's one example of the new technology deployed by support services last year.
On 6 tonight, the UCF Police Department now has the ability to live stream a police officer's body camera video directly into their headquarters. The technology is not new, but using it on a college campus is new.
News 6's Eric Von Anken looks at how the streaming is getting results together at UCF.
The red dot signifies that he's recording, and once we access his live stream, it tells us that it's live. And it'll show him on his camera that his live stream is activated. So this is live. This is what his camera is currently recording.
Happening
as we speak.
From an upstairs conference room inside the UCF Police Department, we watched with Sergeant Greg Larkin as his officer down the road handed out a ticket. Not usually the type of call this supervisor would look in on, just a demonstration of the capability of the department's latest body camera upgrade.
Supervisors can use it for review or for gathering intelligence in real time.
So you might pull up a live stream just to make sure the officer is doing what he or she is supposed to do.
Or to make sure that they're okay.
The new body cams send an instant alert when an officer draws his taser or gun. Warning supervisors immediately of a potentially critical situation so they can look in immediately and send help if need be, especially important on a college campus where so many students are concentrated in so many small spaces.
Some years ago, there was a call, there was someone in the library reported with a firearm. It turned out not to have been, but that information is coming in so quickly, officers rush to the scene, they start doing a systematic search, and they find somebody who looks to be like a description of that person, and they have no firearm.
I was there that day.
Were you? Okay.
I remember that day standing outside the library, how tense it was.
Yeah.
And you had to go room to room.
Yeah, and we had to wait to hear everybody say that it was clear.
Police body camera video later showed the room-to-room search, but at the time, there was no live streaming, so no command post monitoring the feeds and no immediate information.
And we would have that information in real time now. That's the type of calls that I envision this being used for the most.
And we should note that live streaming can only happen if a body camera is already activated, if it is already recording, if an officer started that recording on their own on a call, or if it happened automatically. But live streaming cannot remotely activate a camera. At UCF, Eric Von Anken getting results together. News 6.
Our public information officers work to tell our public safety story, and that work continued in 2022 with the launch of the new Public Safety Instagram. It's off to a great start, and we have seen continued growth across the other public safety social media channels. News outlets cover public safety's good work with numerous stories through the year, helping to maintain a reputation as professional, accessible, and transparent. Here's one example.
Well, tonight, detectives at colleges across the country are building their cases. You see, they're doing it against a 24-year-old who they say has been recording women in bathroom stalls at several different schools.
We first told you about the arrest in December at UCF. Now we are seeing how police made that arrest, getting results together, and how they alerted other schools to cases and victims they did not even know about. News 6's Eric Von Anken sits down with UCF detectives to see how.
UCF police say this man was creeping around campus, lingering in bathrooms, using his cell phone to record unsuspecting women. How did they know it was him?
The victim described him as having very defined shoes. They were Champion slippers, like house slippers. So that helped us out a lot.
Detective Melissa Guadagnino and crime analyst Lindsay Svensson.
If I were to be in that situation that the victims were in, I would feel extremely violated.
Say the shoes pinpointed the perp.
So we took the time frame that the victim told us, and the building she was in, and the description she gave us.
Guadagnino scoured surveillance video and found a match.
And then I started zooming in to see if I could see his shoes.
She used the cameras to follow him to his car and tapped into campus-wide license plate readers.
And then once we got the tag, that's when I said, Lindsay, do your work.
When I saw this on his Facebook, I noticed the necklace and the white hoodie along with his glasses that matched the description.
All of that was enough to name a suspect, DeAndre Mason. The 24-year-old was not a student or even a former student.
So he was here 2 or 3 times prior to that as well. So we're like, hey, he's probably going to come back because he hasn't get caught yet.
Detectives say they soon learned how big of a problem when they downloaded the data from Mason's cell phone.
When I was searching, I found hundreds of videos of females in showers using the restroom. So at that point, I'm like, okay, well, they're all not the same photo. So I looked at the longitude and latitude on the picture and was able to pinpoint probably about 5 or 6 colleges throughout the country that he was visiting.
Svensson notified all of the colleges in Florida, and 2 of them said they had similar incidents of bathroom voyeurism.
And I was able to use the GPS coordinates to pinpoint it on your campus.
And the other ones across the country didn't even know the voyeurism had happened there.
The analyst position is all about sharing information and intelligence that I gather with everybody else in my community. So being able to do that and get results from it is very rewarding.
And the detectives tells me now those 5 other schools are working with their victims and in some cases working to try and find victims who may not have known that they were recorded in the first place. Already, though, Mason has been arrested and charged by 2 schools, including UCF. For now, at UCF, Eric Von Aken getting results together. News 6.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Alonso, and I'm the dispatch manager for the UCF Police Department Communications Center. As a dispatch manager, I'm responsible for managing and directing the day-to-day operations of our communications center. For this year in review, I will be speaking about an integral part of our department, victim services. Victim advocates provide crisis intervention, advocacy, and support services to our students, faculty, and staff. Victim specialists provided confidential advocacy and support to more than 400 new clients this year. 38 Green Dot trainings were conducted for students, staff, and faculty, helping to spread the word about bystander intervention and create a safer community for everyone. As one of our areas of focus, we recognized Denim Day during National Sexual Assault Awareness Month in April. With support from the UCF president, let's hear what he has to say.
This April, I encourage you to join me in wearing denim with a purpose. In 1992, an Italian court ruled against a young victim of sexual violence. The court stated that the tightness of their jeans implied consent to take them off.
Shortly after, a group of women in the Italian Supreme Court protested this ruling by wearing their jeans in solidarity. This day has become known internationally as Denim Day, when people around the world wear their jeans to support survivors of sexual assault.
Let's be clear that sexual violence and assault are not tolerated at UCF. On Wednesday, April 27th, let's add some denim to our black and gold to show our support for survivors everywhere.
Hey there, I'm Alan Elliott. I'm a sergeant of the Operations Bureau, currently allocated to the Patrol Department. You've already heard about Patrol today. What I would like to spend some time doing is looking back at some memorable moments of our Department of Security, Department of Emergency Management, and Hurricane Ian. Let's take a look. The good work of security management continues under Director Stephen Freund. Their mission is simple: to provide the highest level of security at the University of Central Florida. They achieve this by enhancing existing and implementing new security technologies campus-wide. Between evolving national trends and our own local demands, the top two areas hardened in 2022, can anyone guess it? Surveillance cameras and access control. Major progress was made in expanding cameras. These new additions are valuable and an essential resource for our police department. That, along with continued upgrades to access control across UCF campuses, all make this place a safe place to live, learn, work, and play. The Department of Emergency Management is an integral part of our agency when it comes to natural or human-caused threats and hazards. They provide planning and training to ensure our department has the ability to protect, respond, and recover from a wide range of emergencies. But further than just our agency, in 2022, they continue to foster positive relationships with our peers and community, hosting dozens of exercises, trainings, and outreach events to inform members about best practices for a variety of disasters. After taking a few hurricane seasons off, we got a double whammy this year with Hurricanes Ian and Nicole leading to 2 EOC activations. Emergency Management did a great job working around the clock navigating the university through both of these storms. Emergency Management always has our community safety as their primary concern, and they remind us all to be safe, smart, and prepared. In September, millions of lives were impacted when Hurricane Ian made landfall across Florida. Ian was a dangerous, high-end Category 4 storm. In an effort to aid our fellow Floridians, when the call for assistance came, there wasn't any hesitation or shortage of volunteers even 2 months after the storm. 12 UCF police officers in total deployed to Sanibel Island over the course of 38 days, including Christmas and New Year's. These officers contributed over 600 hours of assistance to their recovery effort, providing patrol and traffic support. Ian is the deadliest hurricane to strike Florida since 1935, and I can tell you firsthand, the devastation is vast, and it will be a long time before that community gets back to where it was before the storm. Our thoughts and prayers are still with those affected by this catastrophic storm.
Hi, I'm Courtney Gilmartin, one of the Public Information Officers for UCF Public Safety. As we've seen already, our UCF police officers and civilian staff are making a positive impact at UCF and in our community. My favorite part of my job is getting to shine a light on the incredible humans who make up the UCF Public Safety family, and I'm excited to highlight a few of them now. These recognitions are just a snapshot of the great work done by members of UCF Public Safety each and every day. Officer Maya Tolentino was recognized by the Orlando Sentinel as one of the top 10 people who make Central Florida a better place to live for her volunteer efforts going above and beyond her police officer duties. Sergeant Pete Stevens, one of the most reliable, hardworking people here, was named UCF's USPS Employee of the Year for 2021. Sergeant Frank Imperato was recognized by the International Association of Campus Law Enforcement Administrators with an Award of Merit for his life-saving efforts. Detective Rick Salcido was recognized by End Violence Against Women International with the Champions for Change Award for his dedication to believing and supporting survivors. Numerous public safety officers and staff were also recognized for their exceptional efforts throughout the year with quarterly awards and at our annual award ceremony. The small and large actions taken by our officers and staff each and every day make a difference in the lives of our knights and members of our community. Keep charging on, doing the right thing, and making all of us so proud to work alongside you. Chief and Deputy Chief, I'm going to hand it back to you to give us a preview of the year ahead.
Thanks, Courtney, and thank you to everyone who took the time to help highlight public safety's good work. Now let's check out what we can expect to see in 2023. We'll be joining the majority of other state emergency management offices in transitioning to Web EOC as our virtual Emergency Operations Center system. More information about access and training will be forthcoming from emergency management. A new surveillance truck will be added to our fleet to help us with camera coverage in areas where we don't have fixed cameras. For example, if we see a rash of crimes in a parking lot that doesn't have cameras, this innocuous, unmarked truck could help us capture a future crime in progress and identify suspects. Upgrades to police equipment include ballistic shields, a lesson learned from the tragedy in Uvalde, along with red dot sights for firearms. The Lighthouse app will be another tool in our first responder mental health toolbox. a free resource that connects officers to information and tools focused on well-being. UCFPD is the host agency for the International Association of Campus Law Enforcement Associates annual conference, which will be held June 27th to 30th at the Caribe Royale Resort.
As we prepare to mark 50 years since the UCF Police Department was founded, stay tuned for updates on recognitions and celebrations. Save the date. We hope to see you in person at these important opportunities to recognize our people and welcome new officers to our family.
Like we do every day, we will continue to do the right thing. It is who we are. Doing the right thing is what our community expects, and it drives all of our decisions. To our public safety members, remember why this is a great place to work and embrace the mission. We are one UCF. Each and every person plays a valuable role in the community that is UCF. For us, our job is to protect and serve. We'll always be here no matter what transpires, and you can count on us to keep everyone safe. So thank you for watching. Go Knights, charge on.